to midfield. He's going to make his way upfield. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's going. Thank you so much for being here with us on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon at Catholic University of America in D.C. on the 2019 WCAC Championship Sunday. We're here for Game 1 on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'd like to welcome you here as the Archbishop Carroll Lions get prepared to take on the St. Mary's Ryken Knights. He's Tim Strachan.
Hey, it's gorgeous. You're exactly right, Ken.
And he's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, the sun's shining bright off the gold helmets. We're getting ready to get started here, but there is a knight on the sidelines. I hope Carroll didn't bring a lion.
We're going to get started with prayer.
Father in heaven, we ask a blessing on the game we are about to play. Each words and actions is to this ship. We ask especially our coaches, our officials, our parents, and our players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us to be aware of his presence with us at each minute during this game. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Archbishop Carroll, Jordan Thomas, Taylor Odom, and Claudia Gal to perform our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we're about to get underway here for the first of two championship games at Catholic University today. Ryken and Carroll playing under the sun, guys. I want to say at the top here, we got the Caroline players to watch. I want to say thanks again to the choir from Archbishop Carroll. Made yesterday an amazing day.
They were
Some
awesome.
Carroll players who we're going to make today. Hopefully great for the Lions. Anton Harrison, Offensive Player of the Year for the Carroll Lions. Lorenzo Green going two ways. Tariaj Broussard and Elijah Solomon. Names we should be hearing a lot from here covering the Carroll Lions today. On the St. Mary's Ryken Knights side of the board, we talked about him last year. This won't be the first time we're covering this kid. Number 11, Will Johnson. He's awesome. Defensive Player of the Year in that division. James Bowman, Des Williams, Trevor Norred. What do you got, Kevin?
Jamari Bowman. That was my mistake. Jamari Bowman.
I wrote that down wrong.
We covered him last year. We
Yep.
got him going today. He's a bull. He's a bull. He's a yard eater, and he's a physical guy. Number 21. Keep an eye on him all day.
And Trevor Norred, QB for St. Mary's Ryken. He showed it last year. He's going to show it all year this year and today. He is definitely one of those captain coaches on the field.
Big boys up front on both sides of the ball. There's some class talent. Anton Harrison, we said his name already. Clayton Allen, Davone Simmons, Jacob Kwasny, a couple of names you're going to hear on the offensive side for St. Mary's Ryken, opening up lanes for those running backs. Let's get things underway.
Here we go. Championship Sunday, and we're off.
Fielded at the 17-yard line by the Knights. Picking his way up to about the 35-yard line there.
There's Jamari Bowman getting started off the jump,
Jamari
man.
Bowman. The Ryken offense goes. The last time we saw the Ryken offense, guys, they were in the process of scoring quite a few points in this very game on this very field a year ago today. We talked to their offensive coaching staff today, and they definitely want to pick up where they left off in that regard, too.
It's a fun offense. You know, they spread it around. They can do all kinds of different things. They even throw a lot of little trick plays in there from time to time. Very dynamic offense. Starts with Norred right here.
Watch this release on this kid. It's amazing. I love it. It's so quick. Oh, we got a
They
little
split them out.
Trevor Norred now playing
Wildcat.
out wide.
Will Johnson in
Got
the
Will
Wildcat.
Johnson going direct snap.
And Ryken's going to
That's not how we drew it up, boys.
talk about, well, you know what? Maybe
Aaron-
they saw
Aaron Brady says.
that Carroll defense brings some amazing athletes. We'll see. A lot of those guys are playing two ways today, but they're fresh right now. And Coach Aaron Brady wanted to put the ball in the players of one of his best athletes, Will Johnson, right out of the gate.
I also think he wants to just try to throw a lot at this Carroll defense right now, show them something they've never seen before with all that shifting. And then he was going to motion Norred back towards the ball, so you don't know if he was going to get it right off the bat, have some sort of one of those crazy plays they love to play.
They're so well coached. You know, Aaron Brady does a great job. This is not just a great team. It's turned into a great program, and they've got weapons all over the place. These two wide receivers can compete with anyone in the league at a talent level. Will Johnson and Des Williams are fantastic.
Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 35 for the St. Mary's Ryken Knights. Direct snap. Gain of about 7 yards on 1st down for Will Johnson, who runs right on back to the Wildcat spot again. Trevor Norred. He'll try the right side. Try the left side here. 2nd and 3. This time Will Johnson hands it off.
Now, Kevin, you and I were quarterbacks. I don't know if you and I would be very happy starting off a game split out wide on the first 2 plays of the game.
I don't think we would have looked very dangerous out there, too.
We certainly wouldn't have. No,
Jordan
that was a
Scarborough,
fact.
1st down yardage for the Knights. Trevor Norred back under center.
All right, yeah, there you go. Things starting to look normal again.
5 wide receivers, empty backfield. Trevor to pass. He wants all of it. And he's got Will Johnson on the sidelines, just out of reach.
Got a little bit of wind down there. You can tell, certainly with Norred's arm, his sleeves, you can tell that wind's whipping across that field right now. And I think the wind got a hold of that ball a little
Absolutely, it sailed. You know, the wind just, I didn't realize it would be that big of a factor walking around out there today, but it's whipping. It's between 10 and 15 miles an hour, and you definitely saw that ball sail a little bit on Trevor.
See those trees in the background there getting whipped around pretty good. Leaves going across the field.
Flag is hanging on for dear life at the bull in the far end zone.
Well, that wind's really going to be a factor for the St. Mary's Ryken team because they're the ones that are going to be putting the ball up a little bit more than the Carroll line.
2nd and 10 for St. Mary's. And we got a flag on the field. First one of the day.
That'll be 12 men in the field. Illegal substitution.
Yep.
Nah, these are the killers. These are the killers in the beginning of the game. St. Mary's Ryken wanted to come out and just dominate from the beginning, I'm sure, and really get this ball down there and punch it in right from the get-go. But when you have these kind of little hiccups and mistakes, you hurt yourself.
They got a lot going on right now.
A lot.
Norred with the handoff inside. Carroll with the stuff. We'll call it a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the St. Mary's Ryken Knights.
Big play by Sir Jerome Treadwell. The senior came up and filled the gap nicely there.
And that wasn't a very clean handoff either. The big 3rd down already.
Knights going on the hurry up.
3rd and 12.
There's the handoff on 3rd and long. They'll get the penalty yardage back, but it'll bring up 4th and 10.
Sean Reed, the sophomore on the play. That's a great start for the Carroll defense. That Ryken came out there, threw a ton at him, a ton of motion, a lot of adjustments made by the defense. And you know what? They hung in there tough. It's a huge start for the Lion.
The wind getting an assist early in that drive, and then the mistake.
Let's see if it'll be a factor on this punt as well.
And then Carroll's going to send back.
Carroll
Looks like LaRon Husbands.
Carroll would love good field position here.
Oh,
Will
wow.
Johnson?
Yes, off the side of the foot into the wind. That rugby style, it's dangerous with the athlete back there. You saw him take about 3 steps towards the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah. He's getting the Kevin. They didn't get the Kevin Ricker rule of the half shirt from the mid 90s there, Kevin. The referee telling Will Johnson to tuck his shirt in. He's like, you know what, Kevin? Thanks to Kevin Ricker, we outlawed the half shirt.
Well, the ref may just be jealous because he doesn't look as good in a half shirt as Will Johnson does.
Well, similar to you guys being jealous of me wearing the half shirt today up in the booth.
Well, this is half shirt weather.
That was
for you.
fine.
Look at that wind.
That was fine. It was the Speedos you're wearing that really
I
shocked
didn't know
me.
they didn't know they came in mesh.
It matched. So here we go.
Jordan Harris under center for Carroll. 3 wide. The handoff for a gain of, we're going to call it a loss of about 1.
Elijah Solomon, we're going to say that name all day today. He's electric back there. Listen, these guys that are seniors at Carroll started off as freshmen. They were 0-11. They have restored the roar. Coach Rob Harris has done a fantastic job getting these guys to 8-3 this year. And here they are today, competing for a title, about a block away from campus.
Elijah Solomon, first team running back for Metro Conference.
Sean Reed came in motion on first down. That's a lot of motion. It's like he's in the backfield. The big fullback, sophomore.
There's some nerves out there, guys. You know, that first hit, that first play. You know, there's some guys out there feeling the pressure a little bit because these are some silly penalties the guys are getting on both sides of the ball.
Well, one of the keys of the game was championship experience, and obviously that's going to fall to St. Mary's Ryken. It's been a long time since Carroll's been in a championship game. Now, their legacy, they've been in plenty. But as far as these guys that are on the field, St. Mary's Ryken has the most experience.
2nd and long for Carroll. Both offenses hurt themselves with mental errors right out of the gate. Keep your eye on number 7, LaRon Husbands, at the bottom of your screen for Carroll. There's the handoff. Unable to get through the line of scrimmage. He was able to bounce for some yards forward. Elijah Solomon with the carry for Carroll.
You know, I'm not the smartest guy here at the field today, but I imagine they're going to run the ball on the left side quite often today behind big Anton Harrison. How cool is it that a left tackle gets Offensive Player of the Year? I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. But, I mean, just look at that left side of the line. It looks like the field's actually tilting that way. I mean, that left side of the line, that Carroll line in general is big, some big boys. But
3rd and 12 for the Lions. Similar position that the Knights were in the last drive. He's going to look to test the wind. Jordan Harris tucks and runs. And he's going to be close. I had him for a first down, and he definitely got it.
That's a smart play. He knew exactly where he needed to get. He saw where the sticks were. He didn't want to sacrifice his body for the sake of his team, but he got his team the first down.
Just inside the 50 for the Carolines.
Excellent awareness by the quarterback there. It really was. You know, he burst through that line right there, got what he needed, got down, got the team a new set.
That's the success your team needs sometimes, just to get a little spark.
1st and 10. Jordan in shotgun. There's the inside handoff for a gainer. Lorenzo Green, the senior.
That's a big boy right there. You want to get some hard-fought yards, that's the one you want to turn to.
2nd and 5 is now there in St. Mary's territory.
He does not go down easy.
Nope.
The gold helmets look awesome, and we noticed some of the old-school traditions of spray painting the cleats gold.
Just
are out there on the field.
No, not a lot of them.
No, but you know, a couple key guys. Maybe it's the seniors. I'm not sure, but Coach Rob Harris was very influential in that. He used to spray paint those cleats himself.
Oh yeah.
2nd and 5, 3 wide receivers. 1 in the backfield for Jordan Harris. LaRon Husbands. No, it's not LaRon Husbands. Jamar Ebron around the end. Gainer, he's just shy of the 20-yard line. Put on a nice move there.
Great run by Jamar Ebron. But a good job by the Carroll Lions, kind of mixing things up, going up, up the gut, time after time, and then getting that jet sweep in there.
Excellent quickness there. That might have been a pass. He might have.
It was a pass.
He
He
did.
Just tossed it a little bit in front of him. That's what will go down as stats.
False start from the right guard for the Carroll Lions.
Yeah, gets
They
Joshua
hurt
Mason.
themselves.
That's unfortunate too. They started getting a little bit of momentum on their side. They have a couple very successful plays. It's a nice drive by Carroll, but these are the mistakes again that could be drive killers.
Were they debating on whether or not to call that a penalty, or did someone call it?
Yeah, it was awkward looking.
It was an Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah, he went to the 4-point stance. He almost sold it. He almost had him
no,
too.
he did. It was a delay of game penalty. They didn't call that on him.
Okay.
That's how you sell it.
That
you
was
jump
smart.
off sides, you go to the old school 4-point stance.
Yes.
Like, come on.
That was smart by Elijah. He
Yes, it
caught
was.
himself falling forward, but technically by the rules, he was good.
Oh, you know what? I think they got the timeout in there.
Did they?
They were going to. So the
They
far,
first
the far
called.
judge, yeah.
Yeah, they first called delay.
Yep, timeout.
All I know is this: they did not call a motion penalty
No,
on
they
Elijah
didn't.
Solomon, and he deserves a standing
I-
He does.
ovation.
That was amazing. I love that move. In
4-point stance,
backyards,
that was awesome.
backyards around the country, they're practicing the last second 4-point stance.
That's how you use your noggin right there in championship.
It's like keeping your
games.
finger on the chess piece. No, that's not my move yet. I didn't move. It's great.
Well, so far, so good for the Carolinas. Minus a couple little minor penalties, they got a good stop on the defensive side. They're driving deep, and they're running the ball effectively on St. Mary's right.
They are running the ball effectively. They're, again, mixing it up a little bit, trying to keep SMR on their toes, defensively. So they can't just tee off and really predict on where they're going with the ball right now.
Looked like first and 20 here.
They did knock him off for those 5 yards. Jamal Mungo Jr. He's getting the inside carry for the Carroll Lions for a gain of looks like 0.
It was London Thomas on the tackle. And what a tackle it was.
Great tackle. He was unaccounted for, though. He came clean, and he made a nice hit.
Yeah, just a nice textbook tackle, though. If he doesn't make that tackle, he might be able to get it, to the second level.
2nd and 20 for Carroll. Jordan Harris in the backfield with 2 of his friends. He's looking to pass. He's going deep. It's a good-looking defensive play. The ball stayed on the back shoulder there. It looked like LaRon Husbands coming down. I'm calling everyone LaRon Husbands. I don't believe that was LaRon either.
And on the nice pass breakup, it looked like it was Kirk Mitchell, senior.
That was Caleb Mungo.
Doing a great job of coming over the right shoulder with his inside arm and knocking it out.
3rd and 20. No, you might be in 2-down territory because this wind I don't think is going to be great for the field goal kicker. Let's see what Metro Coach of the Year Rob Harris has up his sleeve here for the next 2 down. And congratulations, Coach Rob Harris.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Jordan Harris looking to throw. He's under pressure. He does get the ball off.
There was a
That is
lot
a
of
leaf.
contact.
Not a
There's
flag.
There's some laundry, yeah.
No, that's looks like you see a flag? I don't want to see a big
I
leaf.
saw a flag. Maybe it's a leaf.
No, it moved. The leaf.
It's a leaf.
Going to bring up 4th down for Carroll.
You got to chuck it in the end zone again here.
I'll tell you what, he was under pressure and he was able to get that ball away. I thought that Ryken had a chance to bring him down there.
I thought if you had
Good on Jordan Harris.
a second earlier to make a choice to run with it, get some yards, get into a bit of a better position, but there was a lot of contact in that end zone before that ball got there. Here's some of these Carroll fans. They were questioning that no call.
Dante Harrison at the bottom of the screen for Carroll.
There's some low safeties for a team that just showed twice they're willing to throw the ball downfield.
And he is under a lot of pressure. Looked like Jeremiah Martin
It was.
and Aiden Weber getting in there for.
They brought 7 there,
Knights.
guys. They brought the house, the kitchen sink, everything
Will Johnson
else.
was in there, I believe. Here we go.
That's why those safeties were uptight, T. They were bringing everybody. They went man.
Well, I can look down on the sidelines right now, see Charles Woolridge, defensive coordinator, who dialed up that blitz and that pressure. He's fired up, and he's got this St. Mary's Ryken
That is a
team
night.
fired up with a
That is a night on the sidelines, y'all.
turnover on downs.
Trevor with the handoff. good first down gain for the Knights. About 6 yards. Bring up 2nd and 4 for Bowman. Knights get right back to the line of scrimmage. Another handoff inside. That Des Williams, first of the day? No, that wasn't.
Yeah, he's only going to get
Jamari
about
Bowman
one.
again.
Only going to get about one on the play.
Big Elijah Billingsley in the mix there. Aaron Brady does not let us talk very much with the pace of this offense. You know, we're trying to get something in there, and there's just not a lot of time.
Another handoff on 3rd down. Jamari Bowman knocked into the backfield. And he'll be dropped for a loss. That'll bring up 4th down. Quick drive.
That's a
Quick three downs, I should say.
This Carolina's defense showed up ready to go.
It looked like it was Jeremiah Albertha who came from the backside, or was it?
Oh, yeah. Number 9.
Oh, no, it was, yeah, you're right, Lorenzo
Green doing it on both sides of the field as he has his entire career.
That was a nice job of doing it from catching him from behind, good speed, coming down the line of scrimmage.
Will Johnson looked at direct another kick.
That
Try to keep it out of the hands of Jamar Ebron.
That was
back
quick.
for the Lions.
That was quick.
He's scary back there. Keep an eye on him. Oh, no.
This one does not go St. Mary's Ryken's way. Carroll's going to take over right about at midfield, almost exactly at midfield.
Will Johnson throws a 90-mile-per-hour fastball on the baseball diamond, but that was the old knuckle curve. You know, he lost that one a little bit, and
He joins the club that I'm in, of the 11-yard punt. The 11-yard punt
It's
club.
a very elite club.
It is.
it seems to me like the wind might be affecting the drop on the punt on both times.
The wind's a character in this game.
When he's sprinting forward, and it's a bit difficult.
Jordan Harris, midfield. 1st and 10 for Carroll. Sean Reed's the first one through that hole. And Elijah Solomon sees daylight and makes his way down to about the 6-yard line. Call it the 4. Sean Reed, number 3, got through that line first. Made a great block, I believe, against a linebacker.
We talked about Elijah Solomon. We said he was electric. We said we are going to say his name all day. He's one of the top-ranked sophomore running backs in the region.
And then Anton
Harrison. That is
paving
a block
the road.
right there. That's
Jack Smith doesn't give up on it. It makes a stop, a touchdown-saving stop for the Knights. And now Carroll's got 4 yards to go.
I just like how Elijah, too, kept his feet going. You know, those running back drills paying off. He's getting hit a little bit going through that line, but once he got to the second level, he used his speed.
Anton Harrison moves to the right side of the line.
We got a timeout.
And it's a Carroll timeout. You saw big number 77 come over to the wide side of the field, potentially as a tackle eligible.
Well, you know, I would like to use him in any capacity.
Absolutely.
That block was, I mean, he's a monster. He's the Oklahoma signee, one of the top recruits in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks the part that we've all been hearing about all year long, but right there, he was showing the part.
Yeah, that was sick.
Here we go with the
I think after all is said and done, they're going to chit-chat a little bit over here. You just run behind 77. We're at the 4-yard line. I know that's telling to the defense. That's a key, but it doesn't matter. When you got a guy like that.
Well, that was Vince Lombardi football. I'll tell you what play I'm running, but we're going to execute it so well you can't stop it.
And
when
the
you got
Ryken
guys
Knights,
like him.
The Knights have countered with big Clayton Allen on the defensive side. Beef on beef. We got a tight end situation, Ken.
Yeah, Anton Harrison's eligible, I believe. And he's going to pave the way. And Carroll in. Lorenzo Green, 4-yard touchdown run. Carroll is your first points of the day. The first WCAC football final here with Carroll on top of Ryken, who, unable to get things done themselves twice, Carroll hits pay dirt for the first time today. Look at this play.
If this is a fight, the judges are scoring first quarter in favor of Carroll because they came out ready to play, man, both sides of the ball.
No, That's a statement right there. That is a statement by this Caroline team.
Carroll going for 2, and now we got a timeout.
I think a lot of people saying, St. Mary's
By Carroll.
Ryken having won the games in the margins that they won them. Even these two teams had a huge margin of victory for St. Mary's Ryken a couple weeks ago. That's a statement right there by this Caroline team.
Coming out, just win cheating by running the ball every single down, except for a scramble and a couple attempted throws. But you can see exactly what they wanted to get to. They came back for that second series and got to Elijah. Wow, that burst down that left sidelines. And then to the old senior trusting number 9, the captain of the Carroll Lions, Lorenzo Green, runs hard and runs rough and tumble as they put Big Anton on the right side. You can see what they're trying to do here, and they're doing it effectively.
Well, I know it's a cliche, but you got a lightning and a thunder combo on that Carroll side with those running backs. Elijah with the speed, Lorenzo with the power, and they mix it up well enough right now that St. Mary's Ryken's defense is having trouble kind of handling this front line and the size, the speed, and the strength that they have for the Carroll Lions on the front in the run game.
Jordan Harris under center. 2-point attempt.
Huge play here. All day long, these are going to be huge conversions.
Hand off again.
We got a flag. I think we got motion on the near side receiver.
Oh, that's so frustrating especially for a coach when you're wide receiver.
It is going to go against the Lions.
That's
see
frustrating.
The coaching staff, they feel better about the 2-point than the 1-point.
There's just something feels right, Kevin and Ken, seeing Carroll back in a championship game like this.
Those gold domes.
The difference in travel today is as immense as it could possibly be. From Leonardtown to Hawaii Avenue, from Hayward Road to Hawaii Avenue.
The Hawaii of the WCAC to Hawaii Avenue. Jordan Harris, shotgun. Looking to his right.
Got him.
Yep.
What a
Ron
play
there
Husband,
he
bro.
is.
He is a big target, guys.
That's why you kept saying his name over and over, Ken, because eventually they had to go to that guy. Husbands, he is a big kid, man. He's a good-looking athlete.
Hey, a bunch of schools have gone to that guy as well. Boston College, West Virginia, Maryland, and Purdue among his 8 offers. And there's a reason why he gets out there late. Look at the route, man coverage.
But just look at that body, too. Look, the athleticism's already there. Look at that body. I'm sure a coach like Coach Mike Loxley looks at that and says, give me a year with that.
I could work with that.
I could make that work really well here over at College Park. All right, so Carroll Lions drawing first blood on this game.
And the conversion is huge. It's
Yes,
going to be
it
a
is.
factor all day long. 5-yard penalty, take it back to the 10, no problem. Or to the 8, no problem. We'll just get the ball to LeBron.
Desmond Williams on the return.
Don't know if you didn't want to just let that one go into the end zone there.
Yeah.
Ryken will take over right outside the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Big spot here for Ryken and Carroll. This is going to determine a lot to do before halftime as Coach Gutt and Chris McMahon stand in the background watching this championship event.
2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Carroll with an 8-0 lead.
We got a penalty on the return. We got holding. It's going to go half the distance to the goal line. They're going to start this drive at the 5. 6.
Little assist from the PA, man.
4 wide for Trevor. He's going to quick out.
Des Williams. They're trying to get him in the mix. This kid is absolutely just a beast on the field as well. He's got offers this week from Temple, Memphis, and UMass. Memphis was a big offer for him. They're starting to see what this kid can do in the field.
2nd and 6. Trevor keeps it. Jump pass out to Des Williams. He's fighting. He gets finished off at the end by like Lorenzo Green.
you know, with St.
Play
John's.
both ways.
With St. John's, we talk all the time about they got to find ways to get Rakim Jarrett the ball. Well, Des Williams is their Rakim Jarrett. They're going to try and find ways to get him the ball as much as they possibly can.
Third and short here. Coach Brady getting it right underway. Trevor Nora, there's a bit of a mismatch in the backfield. He will be brought down at the 10-yard line. Jeremiah Arbertha. There's a flag down.
This is going against St. Mary's Ryken.
Yeah, they're going to decline it, I'm sure.
Elijah Billingsley was in the backfield quickly on that play, too. I don't think Trevor Norwood could see over him, Kevin.
No, there was like an oak tree standing in front of him in the pocket.
Did someone plant that in the beginning of the game?
Oh, they are going to keep it.
I don't understand that one, but third and long from inside the 5 is for a defense that seems to be playing pretty confidently right now.
It looked like it was a chop block. I think one gets engaged up high, one gets engaged down low. That penalty, you can't do that. You can't engage a defensive lineman on both his upper body and lower body.
And that would have made it 4th and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and 13. Trevor standing in his end zone. Looking to throw. He's under pressure. That ball is loose.
Live. It's live.
I think that's a touchdown for Carroll Lions. Carroll Lions defensive touchdown. Sean Reed was back there with the ball. Ended up right by his feet.
And now we understand why you push him back a little bit.
That's why you do it. That's why you do it. You never know. You back them up, make them uncomfortable. You never know what's going to happen. And great pressure by the defensive line.
It was Sir Jerome Treadwell coming in hot. Watch him, number 28, splitting the defenders, getting in Norred's face. Ball comes squirting out, and it looks like, Sean Reed. Sean Reed came up with it, number 3.
What a great play. What a huge play in this game. I mean, back-to-back now. Carroll gets on the board, and St. Mary's Ryken feels like they're reeling a little bit. We'll see what happens on this two-point conversion.
LaRon Husband on the right side, playing right tackle. Pitch to the left. He's going to pitch it back. Jordan Harris.
They blew it dead. I love the backyard trickeration. Carroll playing backyard football in their own backyard today. I love it.
Lorenzo Green trying to Randy Moss it behind him to Jordan Harris, who had to beat a guy into St. Mary's credit. Their defender looked like he was going to be able to keep Jordan out of the end zone there. Still, guys, 14-0. Carroll got St. Mary's Ryken on their heels in the first quarter of this game.
The story is this defense, this Carroll Lions defense, has been stout. They've been making plays all over the place, and then they come up with a defensive touchdown in a championship game. What a huge turn of events.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation for St. Mary's Ryken. They have not been in situations like this very often this season. So it's time for them to respond, because this is how a game gets out of hand, right? You come out here, you get a 3-and-out, give the ball back to a team that's hot right now in Carroll, and you let them get more points on the board. This is where the St. Mary's Ryken team needs to respond. This is the championship. This is where you show why you're here today.
I think it's time to get the ball in Will Johnson's hands. We haven't seen enough of them. However, they got to do it, and it's going to start right here on this kickoff. Keep an eye on number 11.
Ryken not able to get it cleanly.
Nothing's coming easy for St. Mary's Ryken today.
London Thomas able to pull it in, get positive yardage for the Knights there. They'll take over about the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. And guys, we talk about two teams who like to do it a little bit differently. Carroll is happy to slug it out with you on the ground. Ryken definitely wants to play more in the air. With this wind is one of the biggest factors as far as that's concerned today.
It certainly is, Ken.
Ryken is still going to spread him out. Trevor Norwood happy not to be in his own end zone on this play. Quick slant, Will Johnson.
They try to get it to him. Bit high. Usually number 11 comes down with that.
It was a good read by Norred, but then he saw it late, though. We had a good angle on it right here. You'll see that he gets it. He notices Will Johnson just a little bit late, and then he throws it a little high.
Bryce
Still,
Dudley.
it could have been executed, but
That ball seemed all right to me.
2nd and 10 is going to be a handoff and a big gainer.
That's what we're used to seeing Jamari Bowman do.
Jamari Bowman gets a 1st down for the Knights.
look at him get up, try to fire up his teammates and fire up his sidelines like a senior should.
20 seconds to go in the 1st quarter, and the Knights are moving.
You're not arm tackling 21.
Sorry.
Quick play out to the right. Des Williams, I believe, the receiver there. I think they even caught Carroll off guard. Their fast-paced offense. They're going to try, and they were trying to get as many plays as they could in there. The 1st quarter has come to an end. And guys, Carroll up 14-0. It's not about whether people thought it would be 14-0 or not at the end of the 1st quarter. The Carroll Lions have been playing an inspired amount of ball this year for Coach Harris and the Carroll program, and they brought it all the way into the 1st quarter of the WCAC final.
Yeah, it was.
Let's say some thank yous also to Shulman Rogers as they bring us our 1st quarter highlights. And there's the Carroll defense shutting down the Knights. That's the story.
That's Lorenzo Green playing a little bit of defense on the end.
And there's a big gainer.
This is Elijah.
Great feet right there. Look at that.
First big, huge play of the game right there. Sets this up.
Lorenzo Green.
Once again, you know, when you
contact.
When you show up multiple times in just a quarter worth of highlights, that means you're having a huge impact on this game.
Behind the big man, too.
And here's Jordan Harris. I believe he's looking for LaRon Husbands, number 7, for 2. And here's Ryken pinned back. And that defense just gets in on him. Ball comes loose, and Sean Reed, the beneficiary, as we get started here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd down, handoff to Jamari Bowman.
Nice move.
Some spin work, and it's going to be good for a 1st down.
That spin move set that up. He was dead to rights behind the line of scrimmage, but then he uses that spin move to get loose and
crafty.
Just gets that 1st down. Big play by Bowman.
1st and 10. Norad keeps, fakes the pass out to the left, and he is able to get some yardage on that fake. 9 yards to be exact.
Nice move, number 5.
Guys, is it me or does his game kind of remind you of Caleb Williams? They have a similar style to their games. They just have a similar look.
Patient,
to how they,
calm,
yes.
Poised.
Mm-hmm.
A quick out just off the fingertips of Des Williams. And I tell you, you can almost see Trevor kind of honing in. You know, he's been a little off in the 1st quarter. That was definitely his closest miss. I'm sure he wants that back. He'll have more chances.
Well, the pregame jitters and the early game jitters should be settling down for both teams now.
Jamari Bowman with the handoff right up the middle, gain of 5. It'll be 1st down for St. Mary's Ryken.
When they get rolling and they're balanced, they're certainly tough to stop. They get this run game going. You got Trevor Nord pump faking and getting 1st downs, running the ball. When he gets going here, and you know what? I think he's been just fine. I love the way he throws the ball. I love the quick release, and he's perfect for this offense.
1st and 10. Will Johnson coming into the right slot. And it's a handoff.
There he is.
Garrett Watkins. No, that wasn't Garrett Watkins. That was Aiden Weber. The 1 and the 7. We talked about these numbers being hard to see last year.
That's a little old school power play right there.
Trevor to pass.
Wide open.
Will Johnson with a diving catch. And he's unable to bring it home.
I don't know if he needed to leave his feet, guys. I don't know if he needed to. That was a very well-placed ball. It was a well-designed play. I just don't know if it was necessary for him to try and make that a more difficult catch than it really was.
Well, that was a counter to the last play where he came down in motion and had a little bit of a crackback block. He faked the crackback block, was wide open up the seam. I thought that ball was on the money. I'm not sure if he had to dive for that one either, but he outstretched and maybe it was just our angle.
I just think it's sort of the tail of the tape right now is missed opportunities for the St. Mary's Ryken team early in this ballgame.
Third and 4. Trevor with the overthrowing his intended receiver, Nick Deave. That's going to be fourth down situation for Coach Brady in this offense. They're driving.
This gives this Carroll Lions defense a chance to catch their breath. They've played a lot of football in the first quarter and the beginning of the second, and the pace of St. Mary's Ryken has definitely been a factor. Now they got a chance. Big Anton Harrison has played every snap in this game.
Look at him right there.
I know.
Look at him just standing right over the ball.
There's 2 trees and number 77. Ooh. That's a brutal penalty right there.
Yeah, it is. You don't want to give them, you don't want to help them out. You don't want to make it easy. Sets up a.
We have some technical difficulties here. The wind is wreaking havoc with our production as well. We'll keep you here through this drive. We might have to do a reset. Where we got Trevor Norred first down. Ryken driving here at the 25.
Wow. Wow, is that defense ready to go there?
Carroll defense, so far, the best of the 4 sides that we've seen in this game. It's a good-looking shot at Catholic. We are stuck on camera 3, guys, but I couldn't think of a better camera to be stuck on with you guys right now. Field level, behind the drive. Second and 11 for the Knights. Trevor looking to throw. And it's going to be picked off. Karan Watts stepping in front. He's got some daylight. He's got a couple players to beat.
Look at him go.
He's getting some downfield blocking. He's got to beat the quarterback, Trevor Norred.
Oh.
And Trevor, then that ball is dead. They will call it dead. Carroll defense, like we were just saying, Carroll defense came to play today. They have been the story so far, guys.
Unbelievable. Play after play after play being made on the defensive side of the ball for the Lions.
Big-time players play big in big games, and that's what's happening on the Carroll sidelines right now. None bigger than this one, and the speed and the great job of everybody turning around and getting a hat on a hat, making some blocks downfield.
We'll be restarting our camera setup here after this drive. I think we got our difficulties figured out. We'll battle this win here with you guys. We'll just take this field level down the line of scrimmage view.
We'll call this the Anton level.
The Anton level. There's the handoff. Ryken keeps him to a very short gain. We will say it's...
and you may or may not have to refresh your screen.
We would expect that folks would not have to refresh their screen.
Okay.
But they'll just see fade to black, and then we'll come right back. We'll catch the action here. You can see there's some WCAC fans in the distance getting ready for our night game. More on that here as we go forward. 2nd and 8 for the Lions inside the 10. And there's the handoff.
To the freshman, Jamal Mungo Jr., trying to get him involved in this game.
Going to bring up 3rd down, guys. They can get a first here.
Carroll doesn't lack depth in the backfield. They've got a stable of backs.
I just wonder how much depth they have up in the front line, because right now they're playing so well. But over the course of an entire game, are they going to be able to, stay that fresh and be able to be that effective as this game wears on?
Well, that's where the pace of the St. Mary's Ryken's offense comes in. But if they can protect a little bit here, I think it might be LaRon Husband's time.
4 wide receivers for Jordan Harris. He's looking to his left. And
big hit. Great catch. Great football.
Jamar Ebron was met by the Ryken defense.
Kevin Ford.
Kevin Ford came up, read that play all along, and timed it up perfectly. to take him out just as that ball arrived, setting up a 4th down. You know Carroll's going to go for it. They haven't shown any sort of confidence in a kicking game, so looks to be about 4th and 8, maybe a long 7. They can get a 1st down if they can get it to the 2.
6 seconds, 5 to go on the play clock.
Looks like Coach Woolridge is bringing the heat here.
There's the blitz. Jordan Harris will be dropped at about the 16-yard line where the Knights have held up. The interception by Karan Watts unable to be turned into points for Carroll. And let's go ahead and get a reset here with our equipment guys.
And even though that was a great play by St. Mary's Ryken, it was the coaching staff trying to get the rest of the St. Mary's Ryken team, and especially the offense,
for the Knights. Anton Harrison was in the backfield.
Norred was just going with a timing pattern there, and just doesn't seem like he's on the same page right now with his wide receivers, in particular, with Will Johnson. They just can't seem to get any sort of momentum or any sort of rhythm going on offense right now. They have a couple good plays. They got they were starting to move the ball on this drive, and then they just stall due to a negative play, a flag, or just something gets in their way. It's usually to their own doing.
Great.
We not on?
You are coming in live to a St. Mary's Ryken touchdown. Do we have a replay on that? We'll get you a little bit. I think we might be able to get you another look at this. It was a punt by Ryken. Here you go. By Carroll. The referees are going to discuss exactly what happened.
I think they're going to bring the ball back to the 4-yard line.
I think Ryken will take over inside the 5, 1st and goal. Jamar Ebron was unable to get his hands on that.
Well, this may be the break that St. Mary's Ryken's been looking for here in the first half. Not a lot of things have gone their way, as we've said. This could be the first thing that's gone their way.
And we saw when you guys, when we were separated there.
Oh, wow.
What?
So if it gets kicked into the end zone from in play, it then turns into a touchback.
Wow,
so once again, the football gods are against St. Mary's Ryken. And they do not get the break that they've been looking for or needed so desperately to get back into this game. Instead, it's going to be 1st and 10 Carroll ball on the 20-yard line.
Once it's touched and goes into the end zone, I've been told it's an automatic touchback.
Yep.
That's absolutely true.
Well, that's consistent with, say, the kickoff.
No one able to possess it. Now the ball's in the end zone. That's a touchback.
You might have spoke too soon on St. Mary's
Ryken
getting the break there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Right when you thought they got the break they needed, it breaks the complete opposite way.
They got broke.
That's when you just fall on it, because you can't advance it anyways. So if the ball was just recovered at the 4, it would be St. Mary's ball. But the fact that it went to the end zone changed everything.
Ryken had put a halfway decent drive together before they were forced to punt there. Long gainer by Trevor Norad. Carroll with the handoff.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground and
right back into Elijah's hands.
I mean, you cannot. Every break right now is going Carroll's way.
Elijah Solomon.
2 hops. Back in.
The ball is bouncing certainly the gold helmet way thus far.
You look at Andrew Beckerman, number 72, and the guy we've been talking about Clyde
Jordan
Haley.
Harris to pass. He's been flushed out to his left. He gets the ball away. He'll save himself the sack, but he was under duress by that Ryken defense.
Sorry, I messed it. I was looking at the wrong side. Clyde Haley Jr. Playing right next to Anton Harrison. Almost looks like it's an unfair advantage. Those two gentlemen are enormous human beings on the left side of that Carroll line.
Don't leave out Jim to Obadegwu. Third down. Jordan Harris under center. There's the handoff. That's going to be a gain of maybe one.
I'll tell you,
Ryken's defense holds up on this drive.
Charles Woolridge loves playing zero coverage and bringing everybody and every down and distance, third or fourth that we've seen so far. That's what he's done. And Carroll hasn't had an answer for it.
Yeah, it's paid off for him. But also what he wants it to do is he wants it to spark something for the rest of the team, and it just hasn't, really happened yet. They've had opportunities. They've had turnovers. They've had, the turnovers on downs. They've done a great job on third and long situations. They just haven't been able to turn it into any points.
Here's our first look at Josiah Nain, punter for Carroll. Des Williams waits back around the 50-yard line for the Knights. Botch snap. It is blocked. St. Mary's Ryken gets into the backfield. Zaire Carter. And he is, we're going to call him Zaire Carter, the sophomore linebacker. He had some help there on the block.
Well, that one's not coming back. St. Mary's Ryken got their touchdown in special teams. I felt like they've been earning it for the entire quarter.
Well, you've heard the saying, your luck's going to eventually run out. Well, the same is for the reverse. When you're not getting any breaks, you're going to get one eventually. There's the break that St. Mary's Ryken absolutely desperately needed here at the end of close to the end of the first half.
Just under 3 minutes to go. Ryken on the board. Kick is up and good. We have ourselves a 14-7 game, guys. St. Mary's Ryken within 7. I'll tell you what, getting those first points for the Knights is a big deal because they had to do it twice.
But they had to come unconventionally as well.
That ball has bounced every which way, up, down, back and forth, all over the place, but finally into the hands of a St. Mary's Ryken Knight for a touchdown. That ball was just dropped. You can't have that in a championship Sunday.
Now, you do know that Aaron Brady sometimes can be a very tricky coach, right? He likes to be sneaky, likes to be innovative. Do you think about onside kicking here, knowing you also get the ball coming out, I think, right? No, Carroll gets the ball coming out at halftime. But if you're not going to get the ball again coming out at halftime, 2:58 on the clock, you maybe try to get the ball back again?
I don't think you want to give up the short field after that defensive stance right there. Stand they just had. Coach Woolridge has got these guys coming in, seven at a time. I don't think you onside kick here. You go down and play a little defense. Hey, let this ball squirt around a little bit. Like we said, it's bouncing every which way.
Yeah, a little squid kick.
What do you like to call it, Ken?
Well, it's going to be somewhere between a pooch and a squib. All depends on how you execute it and how yellow your shoes are when you kick it.
It's not going to matter.
And I'll tell you what, that was exactly where you want to be kicking from. The flagpole is telling me that wind is blowing violently in his direction. Touchback, the old-fashioned way this time for Carroll. First and 10 from the 20. Carroll finding their first time, little adversity. Taking on a little bit of water here now that the Knights are on the board.
St. Mary's Ryken has 2 timeouts left. We'll see if they can get a couple stop shifts. They're going to elect to use one.
Got ourselves a good crowd here.
Yeah, look, I mean, the press box is shaking.
Flag on the field. Going to be against Carroll. Pushing back 5 yards. First and 15 from the 15. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the first half.
You got to get something going in the run game right now. You got to run behind Big Anton. You got to get some positive yardage and settle down offensively.
There's the handoff. Jamal Mungo. Flag on the ground.
Yes, he does. Hard hit indeed. That was a very, very good hit by Aiden. If he doesn't get him, the way he had speed coming to that second level, that could have been another huge play for Carroll.
Oh, it's coming back.
I think they're going to get Lorenzo Green here. Might have been the block that sprung him.
Carroll's got to regroup here. You know, they're out of timeouts.
Aaron Brady taking the timeout, trying to preserve as much time on the clock, get the ball back, see if he can get more points on the board before the halftime hits.
This is going to be 1st and 22, if I'm not mistaken. I'm impressed, guys. We got ourselves a good crowd here for the first game.
As we should. These are two very good programs that deserve the support from family, friends, students.
So we got Carroll's got to do the same thing. They got to play penalty free here. They got to get some time chewed off the clock. You do not want to have to punt into this wind after what just happened the last time.
22 is a lot of yards, but first down is good if you're at Carroll line right now. You still got a lot of time to try and tick off this clock.
Another
got
penalty.
a flag down. Elijah Solomon on the run, and he's got some life. He makes his way out to the sidelines. That'll stop the clock.
See what this call is here.
Jordan Harris sending mixed signals about whether this is going to be Carroll or Ryken.
Going to find out if the guy on the opposite side was on or off the line.
Yeah. Could they be getting Ryken here with a? Would they stop the play on an encroachment?
They're trying to see if it was an illegal formation call.
If it's encroachment on the defense, yes, they stop it dead. Or no, they do not.
Encroachment would have killed it, yes.
Referees have determined.
Yep. Someone didn't get on the line on time. That's a killer.
Yeah, these are mental mistakes. These are what reps are for, right? You got to get lined up correctly. Can't let something like that negate a huge play.
That would have been 2nd and less than 5. And now we're looking at 1st and 20 plus. I'm going to say call it 1st and 27-ish. I mean, there's 2:39. It is still first down. St. Mary's Ryken only has one timeout left, so the Lions can eat up some clock here, but the field is very slanted now for the Knights.
Feels like Carroll is clawing their way to halftime with a 14-7 lead.
Jordan Harris under center. There's the handoff and a shoestring tackle in the hole.
A saving tackle.
Elijah Solomon goes down, gets him a little breathing room. It'll be 2nd down at the 7. I think Ryken will use their last time out here.
Smart timeout here. And,
there's no reason to hold on to it. Get it stopped, give your chance to get the ball back.
Carroll can run the ball twice, get the clock down here to just over a minute 10 to minute 20 seconds, somewhere in that range. But that punt situation is definitely hanging over their heads because they're going to have to do it again unless they can come up with 20 yards, which the way this defense is playing doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Love seeing the coaches wearing those lays. That's awesome. That's just fun.
Why are they doing that?
Why would they do that, Kev? I don't know.
You can tell everybody, this is a Ken Marangolo invention, not the lay itself.
Not the lay itself. They come down from my side of the state of Maryland. I love that drive up here on a Sunday morning. Must have been great for those guys. Up Route 4. 2nd and long for Carroll. Jordan Harris under center. 2.5 to go.
Another penalty.
Handoff inside, and the flag is down. That will stop the clock. 4 seconds went off the clock on that one, guys.
Good ball is here.
Another one.
Well, you can't take him back any further. So
They called for a second down, but it's actually going to be third down for Carroll here.
About 15 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to hustle up. Five on the play clock.
3rd and 22. They're going to be lucky to get this off. And they do. Inside handoff. Elijah, a lot of company inside the 5. 5 night tacklers. And that'll bring up 4th down. Clock's running. They'll be able to move this down to about 1 minute, 15 seconds or so.
And the dangerous Des Williams back to return this punt.
He's going to put his back foot on the 44-yard line. 44 yards to glory for Dez. And Josiah Anane will be back
well, he's moved
to
up
field
to,
that snap. I think the emphasis
he's
here
moved
is
up to the 30.
We're going to have another penalty here.
Yeah, we are. This time we will get the delay of game. Now this is a dangerous play for Carroll. They got to get that snap up for Josiah. Good
Whoa.
snap. Kick is away, and it's going to run. It's about the 33, 34-yard line. Rykens have 1 minute to go to get some production out of this this half as the coaching staff huddles with the referees here. I don't know what they're discussing.
It's always
Another
dangerous.
penalty. That's what they're discussing. They're going to decline it. They don't want any more clock. They want their full minute of offense. I take that back. I think they are going to make them re-kick this.
Well, when your punter is number 54 and he's already dropped one of the snaps, you want to put him in that position.
Well, he actually had to make a one-handed
He
catch
did.
on
He
the last
snagged that one. Yes, give him credit. He went out and big pawed it on the right side.
They are playing a very dangerous game here. They haven't started the play clock, so I think they're going to be able to get this play off. Josiah Nane's back foot is going to be right in front of that goal line. He's got all kinds of things he's got to worry about and think about now. And Ryken's looking to make him think 3 times about it. Good snap, and he gets the kick away. Des Williams at the 28. He's at the 20, 15. He makes a cut at the 10. He's at the 5. He's going to be brought down inside the 1-yard line. As Des Williams picked his way through the Carroll special teams unit. A lot of good work by the Ryken Knights there.
Now you see why Memphis came knocking on the door this week of the Williams family to say,
sure,
free education at our place.
50 seconds to go in the half. That's going to be a penalty on the Knights. That's a debilitating move.
There is a 17-mile-an-hour gust of penalties directly in this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a change of momentum. They were 1 yard away from tying this game. Now they're going to ball sits on the 30-yard line with 50 seconds to go in the first half. As Coach Brady's offense takes the field.
With 50 seconds left, we know that the clock will stop on a first down. I think this ball's going in the air.
Yeah, 50 seconds.
Will Johnson inside on the right. Trevor looking to pass. He doesn't have any time at all. Carroll's going to bring him down. That will be a sack. loss of 1.
Well, that's not what you want at all. The last thing you want
40
is a sack.
seconds. Yep.
Because now your wide receivers have all gotten all the way down almost to the end zone, and they got to run back, get set up. That just wastes a lot of time.
Trevor Norrad, quick one to Will Johnson. He stays in bounds.
Tackled inbound, short of the first down.
3rd and 3. 17 seconds, 15 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, kill it. I bet they take a shot for the end zone here.
Sean Reed
There's
couldn't get
a
it off.
Carroll Lion down
I tell you
with
this.
8 seconds to go in the half.
He toughed it out as long as he could. He wanted that clock to run down. He did not want to stop the clock. He could not get off the field. He did everything he could to stay on.
Sean Reed looks like maybe a little cramp. Hopefully that's all it is. Gives the Knights a little bit of time to think about this. They were pretty confident from about maybe about 6 or 7 yards more upfield in pregame. Now they are kicking with the wind at their back.
The wind is definitely at their back
in this position, but Coach Brady, he's got 8 seconds, and he wants a touchdown.
But you got to take a shot to the end zone here, or else you run out of time.
Trevor to pass. He wants Will Johnson in the corner, and he's got him.
Hey, that's great coverage on an outstanding receiver. That ball was placed safely away. Bought himself another try.
Dante Harrison, the cornerback, on the coverage.
Looks like
They're
Robert Lawson,
They're going to kick it.
the backup quarterback, is coming out with the big foot.
And the Dayglow shoes on.
That's right.
Those things are.
He's had luck kicking this direction. He had a real good-looking kickoff into the end zone already.
Got a 40-yarder.
I got this at 41 yards. Bad snap. Ball's in the air.
I'll tell you.
I mean,
if it could have happened this half,
what else?
It happened.
What else could have happened in this football game? I mean, seriously. That is a crazy way to end a football.
There you go.
End a half.
The snap is just too much for Trevor to handle. They're lucky to save a touchdown there. That ball almost went off into a place where only 4 Carroll players could have taken it back for a score. Well, that's our first half, guys. Carroll 14, St. Mary's Ryken 7. The final in the morning frame here for the WCAC on Championship Sunday, as Shulman Rogers brings us our second quarter highlights. It's Josiah.
Yeah, here's where things started really going downhill for Carroll. Josiah not able to handle the pass, block punt for the score.
And after a series of penalties, there was Carroll unable to get out of their own side, out of their own way. But this defense for Carroll just playing
a huge play there.
Out of their minds and getting themselves a rest. And here was your bad snap. Trevor Norrad able to save 7 here, I think, at least 6. Thanks again to Mike and Carl and Aaron over at Shulman Rogers. We'll be back with you guys for the second half in 15 minutes. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention down to the field and please welcome the St. Mary's Ryken cheerleaders. defensive back from St. Mary's Ryken, Will Johnson. From Archbishop Carroll, defensive lineman Caleb Mungo. Defensive lineman Sir Jerome Treadwell. Linebacker Jeremiah Arberta. Linebacker Sean Reed. And defensive back Dante Harrison. The 2019 All-Conference First Team Offense from Archbishop Carroll offensive lineman Anton Harrison. Offensive lineman Joshua Mason. Running back Elijah Solomon. Wide receiver Taraj Bouchard. And specialist Malachi Baker. From St. Mary's Ryken, offensive lineman Noah Jordan. Running back Jamari Bowman. Quarterback Trevor Norris. Wide receiver Des Williams. Utility player Jordan Scarborough. Specialist Matt Herrer. And kicker Joe Newton. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcement of the Players of the Year and Coach of the Year. The Defensive Player of the Year from St. Mary's Ryken, Will Johnson. The Offensive Player of the Year from Archbishop Carroll, Anton Harrison. And the Coach of the Year for the 2019 WCAC Metro Conference from Archbishop Carroll, Robert Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all those selected to the 2019 WCAC Metro Conference First Team, Second Team Honorable Mention, and Player and Coach of the Year.
Thanks for being back with us for the second half. 2019 WCAC Championship Sunday from Catholic University. First Amendment Sports and the WCAC bringing you St. Mary's, Ryken, and Archbishop Carroll. Archbishop Carroll lines up 14-7 after one half of action, and I'll tell you what, guys, it went pretty much every single way it could possibly go.
I'm fairly certain we need to eliminate some penalties and some fumbles.
Well, I think it's going to come down to which team can settle down a little bit. Settle down, get comfortable with what they're doing, because that first half was so erratic, even especially at the end of that half, which brought St. Mary's Ryken back within striking distance.
7-point game here. Knights down. Carroll's going to have the first chance on offense here in the second half. They were the ones who got things going on the ground, really, which was the difference, in the first half. The air attack was being attacked by the wind, although I'm looking out at the flagpole right now. Flag is hanging pretty low. I know Coach Brady would like to see his offense take the field in a situation like that before the second half is out.
Carroll's got to get the ball to Elijah Solomon consistently. He's been the guy that's made some tight runs, squeezing through tight spaces to make some big runs, I should say. And he ducks and jives in there behind the big man. He's all of a sudden he pops out of nowhere. They can get him going and stay penalty free. They have a chance to go down and get the second half started off on the right note.
Well, Carroll definitely dominated the first quarter and a half of that first half, but to only be up by 7 has got to be one, tough for Carroll to swallow right now, because they played a very, very good first half, or at least first quarter and a half. But you got to feel good if you're St. Mary's Ryken, having played probably your worst half of football all season and only being down by 7.
The referees have cleared the field here at the beginning of the second half.
There's a meeting of the minds going on in the back of the end zone, closest to the Dufour Center.
The commissioner of the WCAC is out there. We have 3 referees, including the head ref, and I believe that's Ed King, the football AD.
I hope we didn't do anything wrong.
I don't think. Well, who knows? Who knows if we have or if we haven't? But they're powwowing about something. Is that our main man Matt down there too, T?
Yeah, Matt Revkin.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of rules, clarifications, and educations going on in that first half. But our main man Steve Contoni is going to get him straightened
I think
out.
it might be time to go. All right, here we go.
Maybe like us, they're just trying to figure out where to go eat in between games. So that's been a hot topic around
It really has. Anybody got suggestions?
And it's not one to take lightly.
No.
Gotta get it right.
It sends us one way or another.
We will now get an illegal formation or a false start penalty on our lunch decision. I promise you guys that.
Yeah.
Gonna have
win so bad you got to get a holder.
Is the holder offsides, T?
No, he is not.
No, he is not. I love when people argue he is. Joseph Newton, the senior, gets the second half underway for the Knights. Carroll back to receive on the 3-yard line. Going to bring him to the wide side, make the way up the middle. Is that Malachi? Malachi Baker?
And there's a flag.
We do have a flag on the first play of the half.
Why not?
A stunning turn of events.
They are going to back this up. This hasn't been a good sign for the Carroll offense in this particular side of the field. They've gone backwards more than forwards in this kind of inside the 10-yard line area.
Yes, they have been down there for quite a while.
I know Josiah Inane is on the sidelines hoping for some good things here for his line brothers. 1st and 10. Carroll at the 9. Jordan Harris with the handoff. Lorenzo Green. Maybe he lost a yard. Pretty close. Maybe we'll call it 2nd and 10.
Guys, big Anton Harrison limping around a tad bit out there, and we got a timeout.
Carroll had no problem getting rid of timeouts early in the first half. And they're talking it over already. And I'll tell you what, you guys, we saw Carroll struggle in this spot in the first half. We were talking about it before. You know that coaching staff, they want to get it right. Things were not going Carroll's way when the first half ended. The Knights had not just momentum, but the ball finally started bouncing their way. You get a sense that we're picking up right where we left off.
Some of the things
and that's what Coach Harris is trying to get.
Some of the things that weren't going well for Carroll were formation issues, right?
Yeah.
Illegal formations and stuff like that. Those are mental errors that drive you crazy, Kevin. You've coached. That drives you crazy as a coach. That's what you work on all week. You can't have little things like that hinder you, especially when it comes down to a championship football game.
Well, T, that's why I'm up here right now, because the inability.
Blood pressure.
That and the inability to predict what a 15 to 18-year-old will do in a championship situation or any other. And, gosh, you love them all dearly, but there's no rhyme or reason for it.
Well, Jordan Harris was having some extra communication before that last play. You got to think Coach Harris picked up on that. He's back under center. 2nd and 10 for the Lions. And there's the handoff. Lorenzo Green's got some daylight. He's past the 30-yard line. Down at the 35.
Well, that's what happens. You call timeout, you get things straightened out, you make your adjustment, you don't like what you saw, you get out there, let Anton Harrison shake off the little ankle injury, and look what happens.
Here he comes.
Brought down by Colin Webster for St. Mary's Ryken.
Carroll gets back to the line of scrimmage. Out of that side, out of that corner of the field. 1st and 10 to the 35. This time it's a handoff. Jamal Mungo Jr. Gain of 5 for the Lions.
Nice play by Terrence McCauley, bringing him down once again from behind. Good interior play. Good strong hands, gets a hold of his jersey and is able to hold him back.
Yeah, and good forward lean by the freshman. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage almost, and he was able to gain a couple more yards with someone hanging on to him.
This is what we saw in the beginning of the first half, guys, when Carroll's running game was able to get things going, get things moving.
Got Jamal Mungo Jr. still back there.
Yes, it is.
3 on the play clock. Handoff again. We got a 1st down and a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a horse collar possibly, or a face mask.
It looked like maybe they're going to get Clyde Haley there as Carroll's marching backwards.
Oh. I thought it was at the tail end of the play on the tackle. I don't see where the hold was.
Carroll talking over 2nd and 15 at their own 30-yard line.
Oh, yeah, they may have gotten Harrison.
Yeah, they didn't like that he had the hands outside the shoulders, not inside tight.
Elijah Solomon back in the backfield. And he'll get the ball with nowhere to go.
Nothing doing there.
Credit that tackle.
Kalen Perez.
Well, or credit to the entire front line of St. Mary's Ryken.
The sophomore here.
Quarter tackle around, all around to the front 4.
Curious to see the chess match here. Coach Rulers go with the zero coverage, man up again. Every time they've had one of these long down and distances, although looks like we got a deep safety this time. So, no, we're just playing checkers.
London Thomas deep for Ryken on 3rd and 17 for the Lions. Jordan Harris looking to throw. He's got time. He's got Husbands. That ball hung up there, but Husbands came down with it. They're going to be right at midfield for a 1st down for Carroll. I tell you, the ball floated and the defender jumped too soon.
The defender misjudged the jump.
And it was I think the wind had a little something to do. That ball hung.
It was a changeup. Oh, he got turned around, Jack Smith. Now, he lost the ball. It happens. He just tried to make a play on it.
Big Husbands, 1st down, though. Big target on the right side. And there's the handoff.
That was a huge play.
They're going to give him a gain of 4 here. think that was
Well, it was a huge play for a lot of reasons, Kevin. One, field
Lorenzo
position,
Green.
right? The punting game for Carroll right now has not been real strong. So the field position in and of itself was huge, but to get the first down and keep this first drive of the second half going is big for these Carroll Lions right now.
Well, yeah, nothing was going right just about for everybody at the end of the first half. So multiple first downs here, some good plays by the offense, couple good plays by Ryken's defensive line. It's a better flow to this game out of the chute here in the second half. Jordan Harris, handoff to Lorenzo Green. He's not stopped in the backfield.
Another
There
flag.
is a flag coming in late.
I tell you, he hit him directly between the numbers with that flag.
I think we get a sense
That was
of
a
who the referee
well-thrown flag.
was looking at there.
Be another holding. It's going to be a spot foul. I think he got a wide receiver out.
Something tells me that back judge that threw that flag used to be a quarterback back in his day.
I think this is still going to be for ultimately a gain. It'll create second and short. Call it 2nd and 2 for Carroll at the 42-yard line. Jordan Harris sets up here for the Lions.
Now they got Green and Mungo back in the backfield.
Sean Reed unable to find his 4-point stance there.
Oh, no, that wasn't Green. That's number 3.
Oh, Sean Reed.
John Reed, you're right. I got the 3 and the 9 mixed up.
It's going to be 2nd and 7. Clock is running. Coming up on 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Carroll on offense the whole way here so far in the second half.
That 5-yard difference is a big difference for this run-heavy Carroll Lion team.
Handoff to Jamal. Will Johnson on the backside of that tackle, but there was a lot of night action there on the tackle. 3rd and 6.
Xavier Woolridge with the big play on defense.
There he goes. There you go, X. Ball sitting just on Carroll's side of the 45-yard line. Jordan Harrison shotgun, standing at midfield on 3rd down for the Lions. Low snap, gets it up, gets the throw away. LaRon Husband's running underneath it. He made a play on it. He had a chance, but London Thomas able to make a big-time defensive stop on a huge Carolina receiver.
Did LaRon Husbands run to that ball or what?
Yeah.
At one point, it looked like it was going to be overthrown by 5 yards until it wasn't.
I tell you what, he's got all the tools that it takes to be a very good tight end.
Tough throw directly into the wind. Husband's looking back directly into the sun. There's Josiah Nain for Carroll, standing on his 40. A little more comfortable than when he was standing on his own back of the end zone line a couple times at the end of the first half. Flag on the field. Delay a game, Carolines. And the referees won't delay. They've counted it off. The play clock's running again. High snap.
What a snag.
Josiah, best kick of the day on a hard snap to snag. Ryken will take over at the 27.
The punting game has been quite an adventure.
You hold your breath a little bit. But again, that's how big that 3rd down conversion was for Carroll for field position purposes only. Now there's a lot more green in front of St. Mary's Ryken than what would have been.
I tip my hat to Josiah Nain. That was a great play. Dancing back there. Trevor Norred takes over. Bowman, he's going to go backwards. that Carroll defense, this is their first play of the second half. They're reminding us a little bit of what we saw all afternoon early on.
Huge play right there. That's a 7-yard loss.
Looking right down the line of scrimmage. Thank you, Brendan. 2nd and 17. A lot of long yardage situations for these offenses today. High snap. Trevor Norad out to his right. There's the pass. Will Johnson almost touched it, but that was not his intended receiver. He was going for Dez Williams.
Malachi Baker on the scene, making plays.
3rd and 17. I mean, guys, can you remember a game where we've said such long yardage situations on such a regular basis?
I'm not sure I've ever seen a game quite like this at any level. Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. 3rd and long. Malachi Baker standing back deep. Actually, he's going to split the field with Joshua Lesesny. Now Baker back in a single safety look. Trevor Norad, high snap again. He's under pressure. He gets the ball away to Jamari Bowman. Now Jamari Bowman is flung loose, and it's a foot race. He's at the 40. He's going to get brought down at about the 27-yard line.
Trevor Norad.
I have no idea how he got that ball off.
What a play.
I have no idea how he got it off or got it completed.
Jamari Bowman.
But you're right, Kevin.
Caught from behind. He comes off with a limp. I hope he's okay.
And then how about getting the ball in the hands of your playmaker,
How did
Bowman?
he get it there?
That was amazing. But once he got it there, look at that speed, good blocking.
I hope Bowman's all right. He's a little shaken up coming off.
Trevor Norad with the handoff.
That's a stiff arm.
Aiden Weber. That's a strong move. It'll be a gain of 1 with a lot of physical.
Yeah, I like the way Aiden runs. There's really no fall off with any of these guys that get their hands on the ball in that backfield.
2nd and 9, 4 wide. Trevor looking to his left. He's got someone out there, and he's just a little bit too deep for Dez Williams.
That little bubble and go. And, man, it's set up nice.
Yeah, it was more like a little sluggo on the outside. Looks like he's going to bring it in, but then he just fades on out.
I tell you what, too.
Norad just not able to connect with it again. It's really hard. You see this wind up high. You look at the flags. You got a lot of wind swirling up high.
He also threw that ball directly. Dez was looking right back into the sun on that one. Short side of the field here. It's Kyle Webster. 3rd and 9. Trevor under pressure, and he will be brought down for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Tell you what, Lorenzo Green is relentless off that right side of the defense for Carroll. He loves coming off that edge.
Yes.
He's been doing that all day. Credit him with that, at least disrupting the play and flushing Norad out.
Sir Jerome Treadwell in on that as well. Coach Brady keeps his offense in. 4th and 11. 4 wide. Trevor with a quick hitter. Jordan Scarborough with 1st down yardage for the Knights.
You make a call like that, you trust your offense. You say, we do this. This is what we do. Or the linemen get out. What a great little wide receiver screen with athletic linemen making blocks everywhere.
Back to the line of scrimmage quickly. Trevor to Will Johnson. This quick hitter not as successful as David LaFears, the junior linebacker, brings him down quickly.
Yeah, he snuffed that out right away.
Knights with the ball just outside the 10, but it is 2nd and goal for the Knights. Jordan Scarborough with a patient 1st down yardage there. He had a lot of yards to make up on a 4th down play. Trevor back to pass. He's moving to his right. And he is going to get brought down.
Looks like a face mask, fellas. I think the Carroll defender jumped up, extended the arm, and it got a piece of that helmet.
David LaFierce back there, Sir Jerome Treadwell back there. But I think you're right, Kevin. So it's still going to be 2nd and goal. Be just outside the 5-yard line.
Well, I think one big thing Carroll's realized coming out of halftime is they're going to put the pressure on Norred and on the St. Mary's Ryken's front line. They're bringing a lot of pressure now.
It's on the 10.
And really having some disruption in that backfield. Penalties and that going to kill you every time, though.
Knights looking for their first offensive score of the day. 2nd and goal from the 10. Trevor Norwood holds it in, and he's got Jordan Scarborough at the goal line. They're going to call this short by about half a yard.
You can see pre-snap, that safety was about 13 yards off of the slot. There was a lot of space over there.
Yep,
you see Lorenzo Green right there in the hang right there. He comes up close to the line of scrimmage.
They're saying he didn't get in.
It's going to bring up 4th down, guys.
A big 4th down.
I gotta love how fast St. Mary's Ryken likes to play. They'll take their time on this one. Man, Elijah Billingsley covers some space on that defensive line. Carroll's going to take a timeout here. Give some of those guys a breather. We know you guys. We did this game last year. O'Connell and Ryken, and one thing we saw O'Connell with a lot of two-way guys. We get to this point of the game, that's going to start becoming a factor. Carroll plays a lot of two-way guys. Carroll's two-way guys are some of the best two-way guys out there. But you play along that line of scrimmage in a game like this, by the time you get close to the end of the 3rd quarter, this is probably a good timeout for them.
Yeah, get the big boys up front a little rested for this. I mean, it's 4th and inches. This is the play of the game right here. I mean, this is gigantic for the Lions. And St. Mary's Ryken has brought the ball all the way down the field. We got the game is in the balance right here. This is going to be all tied up, or it's going to be deep. St. Mary's Ryken is going to be in a situation where they have got to let Trevor Norwood, the junior, take the ball into the end zone. Trust your big guys up front.
Do you go straight sneak, or do you get him on the rollout?
I go straight sneak here. He's a big, tough kid. You saw what he did on that screen. He took 2 hits to the face.
Well, he's going from shotgun.
Anton Harrison sitting on the other side of that ball.
He's going from shotgun, though.
Yep. Well, there goes the sneak call.
Bowman back in, too. He limped off earlier. Trevor Norwood, quick pass out, and it's going to be a touchdown. Looked like Kyle Webster, the senior.
Well-designed play. That was like stealing.
St. Mary's Ryken 1 point after away from tying this game.
You don't run that play unless you have absolute faith
That was
in
number
your quarterback.
7, Ken.
Oh, Aiden Weber?
It was Aiden Weber. They lined him up at tight end. It's almost like a pop pass. The old school tight end pop pass.
Kick is good. This game is tied with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, guys. 14-14 Lions and Knights.
As we like it on the First Amendment Sports Productions.
Hey, it was a running clock at this point in time in this game last year.
That's unguardable if executed. That's a great call by Coach Brady and his staff.
Nice
I just think
there
were so many big guys up there up front that it would be a no-brainer to see whose will was going to overcome the other. But when you guys got guys like Norred, and you got guys like Aiden, and you got guys like Will Johnson, you got so many weapons. Maybe you use that as the decoy. They went with the play action, tight end pop pass. Great job, great execution.
A great call by me, too. I was calling for the quarterback sneak the whole time. They threw it in. So,
Kevin, I got to tell you, we get these awesome field-level views. You're right, Catholic University this time of year on this football stadium, it looks like we're playing in a park.
Yeah.
Like two guys just were captains before the game, pick sides, and now they're just out there playing. Good-looking shot of the stands there.
Love Brookland this time of year.
Now, those are your Ryken fans. You got another whole half full of Harewood. That's going to be a touchback. Carroll will take over at the 20-yard line. First time for them, tied since the beginning of this game.
Well, the way the game started with Carroll getting a few breaks and getting a 14-point lead, I thought was really big for this Carroll team because of the way that the game between these two teams panned out just a few weeks ago. With them having that lead, they had a comfortable, they had a comfortableness about them. Then things started getting a little crazy there at the end of the first half, and now it's all tied up, 0-0. See if they can get the advantage again.
20 to go on the play clock. Carroll, Ebron running on the field late, still having some problems getting their packages on. Jordan Harris under center.
Comes pressure.
And there's the run. Jamal. Gain of 2.5. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Lions. But we love those gold helmets. We love that Carroll look. I like the way that the Ryken Knight helmet is making its way into our hearts and minds here in the WCAC. 2nd straight year.
LeBron Husband's lined up at tight end.
Hand off to Jamal Mungo. He gets through a few arm tackles.
I love how
Gain
he
of
gets
4.5.
I love how he gets north-south.
Yeah.
See that? He was going to extend the play wide, put a foot in the ground, and got up, got himself 3 or 4 yards.
And he's okay playing. There's a lot of guys at his feet here.
And then how about last touchdowns hero Aiden
Weber.
Aiden Weber on the tackle. Talk about two-way players for Carroll. A lot of two-way players for St. Mary's Ryken as well. Big third down here for Carroll. Don't want to give the ball back right away. 3rd and about 3. Very manageable situation for them.
So not a timeout by either team. Josh Mason got up a little gingerly. They'll give him a blow. Come back on the field here for 3rd and short. We hope Josh is okay.
Haven't seen much of Elijah Solomon this half.
Lorenzo Green in the backfield behind Jeremiah
He might be
Arbertha.
nicked up, Kevin.
And that's going to be a false start by Carroll. Hurting themselves.
Well, because there's a huge difference for this Carroll team when it's 3rd and 3 as opposed to 3rd and 8. I mean, as far as the way that they play that they call plays and like to run the ball, that's a completely different part of the call sheet now.
Josh Mason makes his way back into the game.
We haven't seen Carroll attempt any sort of screen or anything like that either, though.
The offensive linemen upset with themselves. Shake it off, get to the next
Here comes
play here.
pressure, guys. It's coming. You're going to have to get rid of this one quickly.
Extra blitzers all over. The ball's in the air. It's going deep. Ebron not able to run underneath that. As London Thomas thought he had a chance at it as well. Jordan Harris had to get rid of that ball, Kevin.
Yep.
I mean, they rushed at least 6 there, right?
Yeah, they brought 6.
Josiah Nain back in the game for Carroll. I'll tell you what, they put his athleticism to the test today in punt formation.
Got a couple one-handed
He
snags.
does. This might be the most exciting play, of the day. Good snap. Bunts a low. Burn of the wind just caught all of that. Carroll will down that. St. Mary's Ryken is going to take over at Carroll's 38.
I tell you what, if the staffs from St. John's Good Counsel are paying attention right now, they are doing some last-second wind research. Because this has been nuts.
And Josiah Nain off the field gingerly. Might have had something to do with that attempt.
Yeah, it's good field position now for St. Mary's Ryken's offense.
Tie game.
You just got to get the sense, guys, that St. Mary's Ryken's sort of seizing control of this game here in the second half.
Trevor Norrad.
10 on the play clock.
Hand off to Jamari Bowman. He's up the middle for a gain of 2. And that ought to do it for the third quarter, guys. And
Got some chipping. There's a little fight going on here.
all kinds of
Jamari
flags.
Bowman lost his helmet, came up a little upset. Maybe somebody tried to pull it off.
Additional flags. They've called for extra flags from the booth. Jamari Bowman is unhappy.
See how this whole thing sorts itself out.
Well, that's as many flags as we've seen on one play.
Yes, that is a pile, a decent pile of flags.
Definitive power move by the refs.
I think there's a chance that Jamari Bowman might get ejected here. That last flag when he lost it, although he didn't, I take that back. He didn't take his own helmet off. His helmet was already off. That was.
So Carroll's getting a dead ball personal foul, as is Ryken. They will offset.
So?
I don't have any ejections to report.
Do over.
Yeah, good. You know what? The optics of it, him having the helmet off, is what led me to go there, thinking he might have. He didn't. He got his helmet taken off. He didn't take it off himself. He was hot. Sorry, I apologize there. But
Well, it was off when he even popped up from the
exactly,
ground.
exactly. That's my mistake. I'm not trying to eject anyone. Although, you can have.
No, but you're
you can
right.
have
I thought the late flag was like maybe a second
that's what I
flag.
thought
Maybe
too.
you get 2 personal foul injuries, dead ball fouls. I think that is grounds for disqualification.
And the refs are still talking about something, because I'm sure they're saying, wait a minute, we just had a near a melee, punches thrown, this, that, and the other, and essentially nothing happened.
Much ado about nothing here at Catholic University on a Sunday afternoon. It'll be 2nd and 8 all over again, just like we never had it to begin with. Here we go. Oh no, the referees want to still talk it over.
And that's the end of the third quarter of play.
Well, we knew it was going to end the third quarter. I thought maybe they had stopped the clock and get one more play off. 14-14, guys, through 3 quarters. These two teams knotted. Yeah. As Rocky Balboa plays in the background. We here at First Amendment Sports want to say some thank yous to some guys who have hooked us up, stood next to us, and supported us for our first year and a half of work here with WCAC. That's Pat Judge and Beltway Cleaning Services, James Matten and his company, along with Chad Barnett at H&B Engineered, Pride of DeMatha. Thank you guys so much for standing here with us. We appreciate your partnership and your brotherhood as we move forward, covering the greatest conference in all the land, the
Hey,
WCAC.
listen, if you're fans of First Amendment Sports, please be fans of these folks as well. Shulman Rogers, all our sponsors, Pettibone Alarm, all of them.
I have to take the time to acknowledge,
Yes.
with this music playing in the background, that we knew it would be a crazy game and a crazy day for us today. When Ken Marangolo picked me up to head down here to Catholic University, he was chasing a chicken around in the front yard, similar to Mick and Rocky.
We have picture evidence of this, actually.
And I don't live in the country. I live in Kensington, Maryland, and I did not know my neighbors had chickens. But here we go.
Trevor Norrad, 2nd and 8 in shotgun formation. He's out to his right. He wants to throw. Des Williams at the 25-yard line.
What a snag.
And there they are for the first play that we've seen all day. A real good connection between Trevor Norrad and Des Williams.
You see how live Trevor's arm is, and
Yes.
you see Des going up and snagging that and making a play.
But I think you can see the wind has played a huge factor in whether people are going to the air a whole lot today or not. But what a snag by Des Williams.
Will Johnson, bottom of your screen for Ryken, number 11. Handoff inside to Aiden Weber.
Man, he runs
It's gonna
hard.
be a great gainer. It's going to bring up about 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3 for the Knights. Just inside the 20-yard line.
18-yard line, 2nd and 3.
Aiden gets it again. And he's going to fight his way to just about first down territory. Let's see if they give it to him.
They're not. They're going to say
It's
it's
close.
a
You
yard
can get a
short.
measurement here.
That's a good yard, looks like.
Along with Lorenzo Green.
It's going to be 4th down.
Good angle there.
Down to the 16-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
3rd down.
3rd down, you're right. Aiden with the carry again. Met at the line of scrimmage by Sean Reed. Aiden wins the battle, gets the 1st down for the Knights. That was a violent collision. See Sean Reed get up in the middle there.
I mean, Steven runs behind his pads, doesn't he?
We've seen Sean Reed make that block on offense for his running backs. That time he was on the wrong side of it. 1st and 10 for the 13. Trevor wants to pass, and it's going to hit the ground.
He tried
Bryce
to sell
Dudley
it.
thought he had it.
He tried to sell it for
It
sure.
was a great sales job. Great call by the official.
Bryce, I'm sure, may work for the theater production as well.
Oh, you got to. Yeah.
But an ill-advised pass by Norred.
Well, he threw it
across
at the
his
ground.
body. He was kind of going to his left, threw it across his body into the middle of the field. That's a tough pass. You're going to lose something on it a little bit when you do that. It just died on him at the end.
4 wide for the Knights on 2nd and 10. Looking to his left. Trevor wants to throw. He's got Des Williams, and he's unable. I think the ball hit the ground first. Des had a little bit of a bobble. The defender actually popped up with it.
That
but
ball
I think
was
this ball
right there.
stayed on the turf for just a
It was
split
right there
second.
in Des Williams' hands, no doubt.
At the last second, the defender's hand crossed Dez's eyes.
Oh!
I thought. I mean, if it didn't, I thought it.
I mean, that's
the point,
close.
Maybe the point of the ball touched the ground.
Just the tip.
I thought that's what happened.
Hey, what I love, Malachi Baker and Garrett Watkins, both wearing number 1 for the respective teams, showing excellent sportsmanship at the end of that play.
That's right.
Helping each other up, tapping each other on the helmet. What it's all about.
3rd and 10 for the Knights. No, Dez all the way on the inside here. Trevor Norad moves to his left. Unable to put it in the hands. Was that Jordan Scarborough back there? Or was that Garrett Watkins?
Once again, flushing
Garrett
Norred.
Watkins.
Garrett
Flushing
Watkins.
Norred out of the pocket. He's running to his left.
Well, I think he wanted to move that way, T. The block comes out.
Garrett Watkins was sitting there in the back of the end zone and on the run. Norred just couldn't. He put a little too much on that ball. Sailed on him a little bit, just outside of Watkins' reach. Got a player down.
Yep. Can't see what number it is.
Looks like St. Mary's Ryken is showing signs that they might be willing to take 3 points here. They will be kicking into the wind. We do have some streamers from the upper side of that goalpost, guys.
Well, points aren't aplenty in this game. You're going to have to take points when you have an opportunity to take.
Especially on 4th and 10.
Well, and this wind is one thing. I'm going to take it back to good counsel playing St. Mary's Ryken earlier in the season. St. Mary's Ryken lined up for a game-tying field goal at 17-14, final play of the game, and they ran a fake. And they had a little mix-up in the signals on a fire call. Good to see Aiden Weber back and jogging off to the sideline.
That'd be a huge loss for this Saints team. They lost him.
It's 4th down.
Trevor Norad will
29-yard field
hold.
goal. So look, now Carroll's got everyone up.
Garrett Watkins,
Field goal block.
the 29-yard attempt.
Looks good.
He struck that really well.
St. Mary's Ryken takes their first lead of the day, 17-14, Knights over Lions with 9 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the game.
I'm going to be honest. I never thought I'd hear those words this deep into this game, that it would be St. Mary's Ryken's first lead of the game. 17-14 with 9:47 left to go in the third.
17 unanswered for the Knights. Always, you can imagine, special teams 1.5, 2 times, depending on how you count them. The offense was able to put one in, and now they get one out of their kicking unit.
I'm looking to see if Elijah Solomon's going back on kickoff.
I haven't seen him.
That's a huge.
He's got to be hurt.
A huge loss
I
for
haven't
the
seen him
Carolines.
I've been trying to look for him on the sidelines.
See there, that's 35-yard line, I want to say.
Oh,
Up,
he is. He's
playing
one of the
up.
up guys. So
He's out
he's
there?
not hurt. He just hasn't
Right.
gotten a carry yet. I don't think he's gotten one carry in the second half.
Thought he was pretty tough in that first half.
Well, he had the biggest offensive play for the longest, I should say, for Carroll in the first half.
Always love hearing James Brown breaking it down.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Godfather of Soul playing live during a championship football contest. Here's the squib.
Malachi Baker picks it up at about the 21. He's going to make his way wide, and he is eventually going to be convinced to go down. Looked like London Thomas on the stop.
Convincingly convinced.
Down he goes from St. Mary's.
All right. Carroll down by 3. Takes over on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. 9.5 to go in this game, guys. Offense is going to have to got ourselves a 3-point game here, boys.
Carroll's going to have to come out penalty-free here. If they're going to advance the ball the way we've talked about, T, you've been saying it, getting 3 and 4 yards a clip, you can't afford a 5-yard motion penalty.
We haven't seen that since the first quarter.
Shamar Ebron unable to keep his footing. He'll lose a yard.
That was a big play for Carroll in the first quarter. They haven't gone back to it till now. Usually it's set up, though, with a couple runs up the middle first. It's a pass.
Looks to me like Jack Smith played that properly, got his shoulders squared, and wasn't giving up any ground. That's excellent defense by the junior outside linebacker.
Interesting, too, they'd run that jet sweep to Will Johnson's side as well.
Second and 11. Jordan Harrison shotgun.
Little pistol situation.
And there's Elijah.
There he is. And that's what we were talking about.
Elijah Solomon with a first down for the Carroll Lions.
Well, again, we don't know much up here, but maybe they're trying to keep him fresh for this second half of the latter part of this game.
No doubt. Old Rob Harris knows what he's doing. Saving the sophomore for the fourth quarter.
Jamal Mungo checks in for Elijah. Dante Harrison working on his helmet. Jamal Mungo up the middle, fighting hard, and they're going to give him 4 yards.
Well, fighting hard, you're right, Kevin. I mean, Ken, he got hit at about 2 yards or right at the line of scrimmage or 2 yards past, and he was able to push the pile another 3 more.
Dante Harrison checked into the game. No one was covering him. He was waving frantically at Jordan Harris.
While trying to buckle his chin
While
strap.
trying to buckle it up. Kirk Mitchell, the DB for St. Mary's Ryken, able to get out and get him covered up. The wide receiver, you're on the field with nobody covering you. They're like, wait, how do I tell the world this without telling the world this? 1st and 10 or 2nd and 5. Jamal Mungo with a big gainer. He makes his way all the way to the 35-yard line at St. Mary's Ryken. 1st and 10. Carroll Lions on the move.
Well, so far, so good for the Carroll Lions on this drive. Finishing forward, staying in front of the chains, not putting themselves in any sort of difficult situation so far.
Jordan Harris under center. Ryken's defense reeling right now. Hand off again to Mungo. That ball is loose. Ryken falls on it. St. Mary's Ryken ball.
That was a helmet right on the ball. That was a great tackle. Great job of putting your helmet right where the elbow is, right on the point of the ball. You see a little pop right here. Boom.
Jack Smith getting the ball for his squad. He's been playing some tough ball out there today. No play bigger than that right there. In the fourth quarter of a championship game, two guys had a 50-50 at it, and he comes up for the squad.
The Knight offense comes onto the field. 7 minutes to go. They're up by 3. 55 yards to the end zone for the Knights. Option outside, Jamari Bowman. He'll gain 5 yards on
Now,
first
if you're
down.
Jamari Bowman, though, you want to stay in bounds now. You want to try and keep this clock running.
Yeah, you also probably don't want to get hit into the Carroll lines, heart of their sidelines after what happened a couple minutes ago.
See, it's true, but when you run option to the short side, you know, it's going to be very difficult.
Yep.
2nd and 5. Inside handoff. Bowman will get about 2.
Carroll has a big chance right here.
Carroll's defense has come up big in this situation. One thing we've seen a lot of in this situation is penalties.
They got to be disciplined.
Got to be disciplined. No quick jumps here from the offensive line or running backs.
Jamari Bowman coming off the field in 3rd and 3.
Well, he's limping a little
bit.
bit.
Gimpy, yeah. As I was about to say, it's Jamari Bowman time.
Well, Aiden he's been running pretty hard in the second half.
He's been
real
tough today.
He has.
And he's going to get the ball. And he's got first down yardage and then some as he powers his way to the 35-yard line. Works his way through about 3 different tackles.
I like his run style. You see with that offhand, he's very powerful with that left hand, giving the right hand, giving stiff arms 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
3 stiff arms on one run.
His stiff arm has been spectacular today.
And he switched the ball from his left to his right in the middle of a lot of traffic. I thought that was pretty snazzy.
Well, that one,
That was
snazzy.
a snazzy move.
That's a good call, Grandpa.
Thank you. Appreciate you. 1st and 10, 35-yard line. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in the game. NORAD, Aiden Weber.
Nice
a good-looking
play.
backside play. Sean Reed and Aiden Weber are going to be best friends when this game's over.
The delayed draw run properly is a gorgeous football play.
It is. Well executed.
Coach Brady happy to let some clock run. Normally not what he's into, but he got a 3-point lead in the 4th quarter of a championship game.
You know what? He's running offense. You know, they huddled up there, but they're not looking at that play clock. They're trying to score, put this away on their own. No help from the clock.
Aiden Weber up the middle again. Finding his way forward for a gain of 2.5. It'll bring up 3rd and short for the Knights.
Third and 2.
Yeah, Aiden just asked to come out of the game. He's going to invest himself in a little bit of ice, I think, after this game. He has had a very, very tough game today.
I was going to say,
Both sides of the
well
ball.
earned. He has brought the physicality today.
Mhm.
This might be I don't know, Jamari Bowman is back in. I thought maybe they're going to give Will Johnson in the Wildcat. 5 on the play clock. Jamari Bowman coming back to the left side.
He got it.
He's going to have first down by about 1.5 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line for the Knights offense.
Carroll Lions only have 1 timeout left on the day.
As we roll through 4 minutes to go in this game.
St. Mary's Ryken, though, has had trouble once they get close to or inside that red zone of getting the ball in the end zone. This Carroll defense really tightens up in that red zone. Made it difficult for them to get any points on the board, which resulted in the field goal in the last scoring drive for St. Mary's Ryken.
Jamari Bowman, inside handoff for the Knights. He'll gain about 1.5 yards. And I mean, this game could end on this drive before they even get to the end zone if they're able to play at this pace, keep the clock running.
Well, they got to be smart. I think NORAD's got to understand, and I'm sure Aaron Brady's telling them, take the play clock down as far as you possibly can before you snap the ball. Eat up as much time as you can on this clock.
Yeah, they'll be able to get it under 3 minutes before they snap the ball if they wanted to, or right around 3 minutes. Aiden Weber back in the game in the backfield. And he'll get it on the handoff. He's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll get him forward progress for a gain of 0. Hard fought.
Okay, third down of the game right here. Carroll's got to get a stop on this third down. Force them to either kick it or go for it. This is a really interesting spot where the ball is on the field right now.
We know Aaron Brady is a heck of a football coach. We also know he's been aggressive. We noticed that the last time, Carroll's in a run-stopping defense. You got Will Johnson in one-on-one coverage on the near side with Dante Harrison. I'm saying let's take a peek over there right now.
Sure.
Here it is. Here's the matchup I'm just talking about.
Will Johnson, Dante singled up. Bottom of your screen. Trevor out to his right. He wants to throw. He's got Des Williams. A great
Nice
defensive
play
play.
once
Nick
again.
Deavy.
That was huge. Oh, we got flagged.
Quarren Watts for Carroll has been all over the place for
Yeah, I said Nick Deavy. He's the wide
Yeah,
receiver
Quarren
for,
Watts.
for
He
the
has been
Knights.
very good. He's the one that had the interception. He's had a couple pass breakup. None bigger than that one right there.
Holding declined by the Lions.
Fourth and
I do not think this,
Fourth and
not certainly
9.
going this direction either. This is not field goal position.
no, the flag is blowing directly against them.
Carroll's life still very much alive right now. 2:12, a lot of time on the clock. They just don't have a big aerial attack on offense. So if and when they get the ball back, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it. Very little time left on the clock. They gotta
2:12
stop
in the
first.
game. 4th and 9.
Keep an eye on David Warmington Jr. coming off the edge here.
Trevor to his right. Throws it back.
He
And
was
it is
right
well
there.
defended. Was that your man?
That's my guy. He was right there. I thought he was going to go the other
DJ
way.
Warmington.
That's huge. This sets the stage for Carroll to have an opportunity to possibly get a game-winning drive
And they saved a
in the
timeout.
Metro Conference Championship. They saved the timeout. You're right.
Still got a timeout.
That could be huge again because they're not they're not known for going to the air. So they're going to have to run the ball.
Big gainers.
When these young men were freshmen, they were 0-11. 3 wins sophomore and junior year. And if you ask them at the beginning of the season, if there's 2 minutes and 7 seconds left, you got 1 timeout, 76 yards to go to win the Metro title, I think they'd have taken that deal.
They're already winners. Whether or not they're champions, we're going to find out in the next 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Jordan Harrison shotgun. Looking to throw. He going for all of it. He's intended. Nicholas Harbor, the freshman wide receiver.
The
He's
young
tall.
man is heavily recruited as a freshman. He's a known commodity on the eastern region at any college that offers free education. They already know about Old
Well,
Nicholas.
look at his range. You can just tell he's got a lot of range.
And he can scoot.
Good defense there. Let Kirk Mitchell playing on the outside on
It
that
was
play.
good defense. Certainly was.
Jordan Harrison shotgun again. This time it's going to be a handoff to Elijah Solomon, and they're calling it dead.
Whoa, what happened there?
Oh, timeout, St. Mary's Ryken.
Interesting.
Oh, freezing the running back. 1 minute, 59 seconds to go, guys. 2nd and 10 for Carroll.
Ken, he's talking to you.
Oh, I'm going on the field. I rush the field no matter what.
Yeah, you can't stop this guy.
If there's a chicken out there, watch
Yeah,
out.
if there's a chicken, then forget it. All bets are off.
Rocky Balboa style on that.
Did you catch the chicken?
Oh, I caught the chicken.
Kevin.
They got to get the ball to LaRon Husbands here. They got to get the ball to number 7. He's the guy that's made plays in the passing game. This is Carroll Nation is out there watching this and saying, we got a chance here. You got some big-time receivers. That last ball was a beautifully thrown ball, bunch of contact, no call, good no call. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. They don't have to be at a frantic Hail Mary pace, but they got to get ready to get on the ball after this play and get going.
something they were struggling with early. So
True. Looking forward to
got
see Jordan Harris
execute.
in a 2-minute situation.
Yep. Ebron uncovers. Harris to pass. Unable to find LaRon Husbands underneath. Going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Unfortunately, now you do have to think about throwing the ball a little bit further down the field.
Ryken might use another timeout here.
You don't have to get it all in one. It's a 2-down territory for him here, obviously.
$10 on the play clock.
Dante Harrison and Des Williams.
Knights
With
like what
all
they have on
kinds of
defense.
field.
Jordan to pass. He moves up in the pocket, and he's going to be brought down from behind.
That's the last thing you need. You got to get everybody
Jack
back.
Smith.
You got to get everybody back. Plus, you got the play clock they're getting ready. That starts as soon as they get the ball set. Carroll's not in much of a hurry right now.
1 minute, 35 seconds to go in the game. It all comes down to this play for Carroll.
They got a timeout. They got to use it.
And that's what they've done. The
Well,
Knights
St. Mary's
faithful,
Rykens, they're smelling it right now, guys. They feel it.
they sure do. It wouldn't even be the craziest thing we've seen this year, though, if Carroll is able to get a 76-yard playoff.
Wouldn't be the craziest thing we've seen in this game.
Nope.
This game has been nuts.
17-14.
What are you dialing
Nail
up, Kevin?
biter.
What are you dialing up here?
I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm sitting here thinking about St. Mary's Ryken playing coverage the last 3 snaps. They haven't brought much pressure, but they've been playing coverage, and they've had guys covered in that. I think something over the middle. You see how big and tall some of these receivers are, whether it be Dante Harrison or young Nicholas or LaRon Husbands. Some type of seam slant situation.
No, I think you're right.
Thrown to a big body, yeah.
Aaron Brady and Charles Woolridge have been aggressive on defense all day long, but here I think you keep everything in front of you. You drop somebody back.
We're not going to draw to Solomon.
They've got Colin Webster way back.
LaRon Husbands in at tight end on the left-hand side.
Along with Lyndon Thomas.
Quentin Harris looking his way. Contact.
That's
just about the
That was
same
Lyndon
time as
Thomas.
the ball.
Lyndon Thomas on the pass breakup got there right when Husbands was going to catch the ball. That may do it.
so they sat him back and they sat on the slant route.
Yeah, you keep everybody in front of you. Good close. That was a well drawn up play by Carroll. It was going to be right at the sticks.
Great ball. If I'm a Carroll fan, I think he might have gotten there a half a second too soon, to tell you the truth, but not much arguing at a number 7.
Should see victory formation here for the Knights with 1 minute and 24 seconds to go. They can down this out.
Trevor Norred, the veteran QB, is telling Mr. Official, we're going to be taking a knee here.
Des Williams lining up wide right. Anyway, quick knee, clean. One more of those should be all it takes for St. Mary's Ryken to go back-to-back in the Metro as WCAC champions. Tipping our hats to the Carroll Lions and the year that they've had. T, you said it best. They're winners. They were winners when they got here. Ryken will leave champions, but I know the Carroll faithful and all those fine folks on Harewood have a lot of reason to keep their heads up.
Yeah, that roar has been restored right here on North Capitol Street. There's no doubt about it. No, we're going to be seeing them again in the future as well, with all the young talent they have as well coming behind these seniors that have laid the foundation.
There's a flag on the field. I think that's going to be too many men, as Des Williams wanted to be part of that victory formation very badly.
Well, the crowd started chanting back-to-back, and he got excited because he's been a big part of both titles.
is when the referee maybe just waits a second to start the game clock, just a couple more seconds. The scoreboard operator. There's the referee waiting for it. A little chippiness at the end. It's a 3-point game. Chippiness with in a final.
Well, that'll do it.
That's the way you want it. Referees will say that's all we got. 10 seconds to go. Guys, congratulations to St. Mary's Ryken, back-to-back champions of the Metro. They did it 2 different ways against O'Connell and Carroll, but they did it. Congratulations to Coach Brady. Congratulations to this roster. Some of these guys we're going to get to see come back. They got a lot of guys coming back. Congratulations to the Carroll Lions, Coach Harris, and all the folks down in Harewood.
The roar has been restored.
It sure has.
And the St. Mary's Ryken Knights aren't going anywhere. They got 9 starters back on offense and 9 starters back on defense.
We'll be back a little bit later this evening for your Capital Conference final. St. John's, Good Counsel. We look forward to seeing you guys back there on behalf of First Amendment Sports.
Get your popcorn.
Kevin Ricca, Tim Strachan, Ken Marangolo. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Thanks.